Thank you for listening to our podcast. To find more podcasts on options, stocks, alternative markets, and market data, please visit www.ise.com/podcasts.
Of course, lows are considered support, highs are considered resistance, and some of the possible implications, of course, are the early warnings of a trend reversal. So if we see a particular pair value trading up into a resistance level and it's tested it several times, the longer it takes to break through, the higher probability that that uptrend is in fact going to turn around and reverse its direction. Okay. Once that resistance is violated, however, we would expect a continuation of the uptrend, and that's why it's important to recognize the characteristic of a continuation of an uptrend. It's that higher high. So if we look at a previous high as a resistance, we look at a break of that previous high as a possibility for a continuation of that uptrend. Now, as support's violated, we look at that as a high probability for a continuation of the downtrend. So the way I like to paint sort of the picture with support levels, and I'm sure many of you have heard this before, is picture yourself on the top floor of a building sitting in a bathtub. Well, if that floor breaks, you know that you're not going to stop midair. If there is a definitive level below that, the next stop generally is going to be that next level. So we look at support levels as being, once they've broken through, high probability you're going to see a continuation down to the next floor where the bulls will dig in and a new battle for control of that price level will take place. Now, we use this for trade entry identification as well. So again, if based on all of this information and this whole sort of approach to trend identification and trend continuation and reversal, based on this information, we can take that and establish a possible mechanism for entering a trade. And we can also use this information to establish a target for locking in profits, or if it happens to move against us, for essentially cutting our losses. Now let's take a look at the CDD here for an example. And now this is based on I know we dropped a little lower than this this morning, but I believe back up trading in the 103 range. But recognize that what we have established here are several key levels over the last several weeks to 2 to 3 months, where the pair value was in fact holding its ground. So in other words, U.S. dollar bulls were digging in and holding their ground against the Canadian dollar against the U.S. dollar bears. Now, looking at those key levels, we can establish an important support level. So watching this price action take place, we were looking at this information and saying, okay, provided that we hold this 106 range, we have the possibility for a reversal in the U.S. dollar against the Canadian. So in other words, we're seeing support at this level, but recognize that if that support level breaks, we are likely in for a move all the way down to the next key level of support, which in fact happens to be the 103-104 focal zone. And again, those of you that follow our FX Options Outlook will recognize that that is a key level that we've had established for quite some time. Now, from a trade entry perspective, we can look at that. I'm going to try to change the color, and good comment from one of the gentlemen online about using yellow on white. It just doesn't really work. I think blue will probably work a little better. But recognize that we can establish a previous pivot point, as you can see here we did here, and recognize that, okay, if that support level or previous pivot point breaks, high probability we're going to get a continuation to the downside. So we can establish a trade entry opportunity based on that. As we close below that level, right, high probability it's going to continue to the next level. Now at this point, what we would be looking for is some consolidation within this key support level. At that stage, we would then look for a reversal, right, the possibility of a reversal taking place, and we would look to trade it moving to the upside. Okay, right now we've had a very significant drop from 110 all the way down, almost straight down to 103. And for us to chase this to the downside, we run the risk of, in fact, having to withstand a little bit of a reversal because we're hitting a key support level. Okay, so with that in mind, again, we can look at these key support and resistance levels and establish targets. If we entered based on a break here, we could look at this 103, 104 level as target number one. This might be where we're starting to lock in our profits on our particular CDD puts that we've selected. Now, let's take a look at the EUI, the U.S. dollar versus the euro, and we can see here that the U.S. dollar, of course, has been losing strength against the euro, but we now find ourselves trading at an important support level. And again, this is something that we've been identifying in our weekly outlooks. Now, the U.S. dollar lost some ground against the euro today as well, but managed to hold its ground within this key support. So what we would be looking for is we'd be looking for a possible trade opportunity. If it breaks below this key pivot point here and closes, then we would look at the possibility for a continuation to the downside. If support holds at this level, we can go back, we can look at a previous pivot point, and we could use that as a benchmark for entering in to buy some call options for a possible retracement in the U.S. dollar against the euro using these EUI options. How could we establish a target? Well, we could simply go back and identify a previous resistance level, recognizing that, of course, we traded down into the support once, we bounced into this resistance a second time, and rejected. So we have to be aware that if we get in somewhere down here, we run the risk of a similar rejection, meaning that we could be profitable all the way into this and then watch our profits subside as we come back down to possibly even continue. So this is why we look at support and resistance levels for establishing targets as well. And you'll notice that this resistance level is identified using several points. We have this low right in here. We had a gap down right into this level here. And then we had a retest of this level in here. So on three separate occasions, that 69 zone became a very important benchmark for our pair value here. And so we have to respect that. Now, we're testing support here at roughly the 67.5 for a second time. So now we sit back and we say, okay, if this support level holds, high probability, we're going to see a snapback that may take us to retest this resistance level. Doesn't mean that it's going to continue, and we've just seen the bottom of the U.S. dollar against the euro, but what it means is that we may very well be able to take advantage of a short-term move in this pair value by some 68 strike call options. Remember, always give yourself some time and trade it up into these resistance levels. Now, again, as we break through these levels, we can start establishing targets using previous support and resistance levels. Again, up in here at this roughly 70.5 to 71, you can see that our pair value consolidated and tested. So this is essentially where we could set our second targets. I'm messy at drawing on these slides, so hopefully everybody can see what I'm talking about.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. To find more podcasts on options, stocks, alternative markets, and market data, please visit www.ise.com/podcasts.